Welcome, everybody, and thank you for clicking on my video today. My name is Joe, and this video is going to be on the topic of rug pulls. Not everyone's favorite topic, but they do happen. I think they're par for the course in crypto and Web3. And specifically, we'll be talking about the Cardano blockchain and the ARDANA DeFi platform, which decided to abruptly halt development, even though they burned through all kinds of money and made tons of promises that they'd be building X, Y, and Z, and none of it materialized. So a lot of this will be my own commentary, but I'll put links in the description so you can see where I got my information from. But you'll hear a lot about my opinions. We will look at some of the documents that Ardana had out there on the web, and we'll be able to find some red flags. Maybe they weren't red flags at the time, but once the honeymoon phase is over and the rug pull is set in motion, they are red flags, and you'll be able to see it very clearly, I think. Um, and then just to make this a productive video, a video where we actually learn something, I have questions that I try to ask myself, and sometimes even ask some of these teams whenever they're promising all these amazing things, as long as the community gives them money to do it. And I think if more people are willing to scrutinize the projects in a constructive way, more willing to ask these questions, rug pulls will be few and far between. And these teams will actually start shipping products that they promise to the community. And by the way, most of them do make many promises. And I think that communities just have to get smarter with where they put their money and protect their money, as well as do some research and ask some questions. So we'll get into that as well. Just like the rest of my videos, nothing in here is meant as financial advice. This is an informational video only, and some of my own personal opinions. You do your own research. Like I said before, I'll put some links to help you out so you could start that research down below. I would also appreciate it if you would like the video, share, and subscribe. I do NFT, DeFi, all kinds of content related to crypto across many different blockchains. So if you think you would like that, please jump on board. Here's the Ardana Twitter page, right? They call themselves the DeFi hub of Cardano. In fact, they call themselves Cardano's #1 all-in-one decentralized stablecoin ecosystem. Last I checked, Cardano does not have a stablecoin. So already right there, looks like they are trying to position themselves from a marketing standpoint to be the go-to Twitter page for people looking for DeFi on Cardano. Um, they do have a link tree. Their team. You can look up information about their team. There's their website. But let's look at the tweet that basically was the white flag for them, letting everyone know they gave up. So, hello, Ardana community. You know what? You don't have a community if you don't have a product, but we'll go with it. Unfortunately, due to recent developments with regards to funding and project timeline uncertainty, this project has come to a halt. Yeah, who decided that? The people that already got paid to deliver nothing for a year? Our code will remain open source for builders to continue our work going forward. So your team already got paid. Now new builders are going to come in and work for free, I guess, on your project. Good. Remaining funds and treasury balances will be held by Ardana Labs. Oh, so they still have some money until another competent dev team in the community comes forward. I don't even know what that means. Are they saying that their team was incompetent and got fired? They got bored and they just stopped working? I don't know. We want to thank all of you for your support. Yeah, no shit. The community bought your bogus token, your team cashed out, and they didn't have to make anything. Yeah, thank you for your support. People got rocked in this rug pull. I saw somebody on Twitter said they lost $25,000. Why? Why are you giving people your money on the internet? I don't get this. If this was an NFT collection, Twitter would be ablaze. Pitchforks and torches. But for some reason, Cardano community, especially, you give the benefit of the doubt to these people promising DeFi. You have barely a shred of DeFi on the chain after many years. Here's another great line. More updates surrounding the ongoing ISPO will be coming soon. No, thank you. No, thank you. I feel like you've taken enough money out of the ecosystem, to the tune of like $10 million. No, thanks. Let's cancel this ISPO because they're unethical to begin with. Now they did say something. Oh yeah, look, we will continue to be involved in the Cardano community. No, thank you. No, thank you. You've extracted enough. Move on. Move on. So, and then here's the best. They're congratulating another team, Indigo, who just had a team member dump all their tokens ahead of the vesting schedule. So this is just a mess. But again, you can't hate on it. All the money's there. If they didn't come in and take that money, maybe they legitimately did try to build something and just weren't successful. Someone else would have done the same thing. So you can't really hate the team, right? Maybe they're overly ambitious. Maybe they're just incompetent. Maybe they can't get anything done, but they're really smart. I think that's probably the norm in Web3. Um, but you got to think about this. If they're working in Web3, there's a reason why they're not working in Web2, right? Web2 is more results oriented. There's a corporate structure for the most part. Web3 is a little bit of a free for all, especially when community funds are involved. Let's look at some of their documents. Let's look at their pitch deck, which I think is full of red flags. If I had read this 6 months ago, I would have called this out, but I was never interested in this project the way I was with, MinSwap, Sunday Swap, which I think have zillions of red flags themselves. But let's look at their pitch deck. I'll put the link for this in the description. This is their pitch deck, 14 slides. Here we go. Look at this right here. Ardana unlocks the true value of Cardano. What does that mean? Every single DeFi application that doesn't have a product yet says something like that. Ardana unlocks the true value of Cardano. So, don't like it already. This is straight up marketing. There's no, you know, there's no track record that the team is putting up front in these documents. It's a marketing pitch. Ardana stablecoin vaults. Um, the way they talk about stablecoins and the DeFi platform they're supposedly building, they talk about it in these documents as if they're already built, which is very unethical. Here are all the features of a stablecoin. Just so you know, these are the features of every stablecoin. Pegged 1-to-1 to US dollar. Yeah, no shit. Medium of exchange. Yeah, no shit. The only problem here is the stablecoin doesn't exist. Looks like they were going to build a DEX where you could swap stablecoins. Ardana, here's another. This is a red flag, by the way. Ardana will target a $6.6 trillion global foreign exchange market. I have seen this so many times on documents of different projects. Just because they're targeting this global foreign exchange market does not mean that some of that value will end up being captured by people who hold their token or use their protocol. Keep that in mind. Talking about rewards, this is where people really get suckered in. Staking a token that isn't even needed, right? The Dana token, which dumped horrifically. We'll look at the chart for that as well. And it didn't dump for the reason that you think. We'll get to that. The Dana token is the utility and governance token. If I see governance token, red flags everywhere. Governance token. How can it be a utility token and a governance token? Governance tokens shouldn't have a value. They should be used for voting, right? And that brings me to something else. A lot of these projects, they say, "Oh, we're going to build this protocol. We're going to deploy these applications, and then we're going to turn it over to the community." Why would you do that? If you built this valuable protocol and you put it in the hands of the community with a governance token that your team can dump, by the way, which is what happens with all these tokens. Um, why is the community in charge of it now? That means that you're not accountable anymore for what happens. To me, this is a red flag. This is why I don't buy project tokens. I don't buy them. Ardana has a world class team. Yeah, they take $10 million, burn through it, deliver nothing, and then say they're going to continue working with the community. We'll see. I mean, look, maybe there's a legitimate reason that they stopped working on the project. Maybe. Maybe they had unrealistic expectations. Maybe they weren't really only working on this one project. Maybe they had multiple projects they were juggling. Maybe they didn't have the right people. Maybe they're all friends, right? You have to think why a project thinks they could deliver something as difficult as a stablecoin, market it so intensely to the community, and then just give up. And here is the token. So this is the ADA Dana token chart. You can see this big dump. This is due to the announcement. So this isn't that bad, by the way. I know this looks horrible, like, oh my god, this token dumped like crazy. Look, this token's been dumping since it was released onto the community. They had 3 rounds of sales before they listed this token. Um, this token dumped from here to here, and that's in ADA terms. ADA also dumped. So this token's down well more than 90%, I would say. And some people got caught holding a big bag at the end. But I mean, these project tokens have no value without the actual application, right? They didn't, it can't be a utility token or a governance token if there's only a token. So what's the token for? I'll tell you what the token's for. The token is to pay the team. These team members get paid an allotment of tokens, and then they have to sell them for a token that actually has value, like ADA, to get paid. So this is a huge dump here. And then I guess some buying offset the dumping for a short window. Maybe they were putting incentives around liquidity providers. And we know if you provide liquidity and you're farming, you have to sometimes lock up your tokens for a given amount of time. It's common. All the while you're locking up your tokens, you are taking some out of the circulating supply. The team's selling, right? And we'll look. You could see that the team was able to sell these tokens way before the applications and the stable coins were released. And here's just a straight up dump. Who's dumping these tokens? Probably not the people who were buying here to provide liquidity and chase APRs. Probably not. And by the way, this project was valued at $75 million out of the gate. $75 million. $75 million. It's a lot. Back into their documents, here is the token distribution. They sold 30% of the supply. They put up some for liquidity, 5%. Founding team got a bunch, 15%. And then they allocated some for liquidity mining rewards. I don't see the reason to have a token if you don't have a product. I don't see it. Why do you need the token? You don't. And you could see that, between 24 cents and 60 cents was what this token was sold for. It's like roughly $10 million, something like that. Could be off, could be 8, could be 11, but it's in the millions of dollars. And I'm not sure if they got catalyst funding. I didn't look into it, but that could easily be looked into as well. Yeah, fully diluted valuation, $75 million for the whole project. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. In a bear market, yeah, right. And then the vesting schedule. So they could sell a percent every month. Every month. It doesn't say when, but I guarantee you it was right out of the gate. Right? The first month they were probably selling tokens. It's so unethical to allow your team to sell tokens into the public who's buying because you're marketing liquidity mining rewards. Super unethical, super unethical. And this has been done by MinSwap and Sunday Swap as well. Also, Makosi. I've tweeted about all 3 of them. I avoided those tokens like the plague. People are going to get dumped on bad or already have. Go look at a chart of MinSwap or Sunday Swap. It looks exactly like the chart that I just showed you. All right, so some questions that I have, and I asked this to many of the project creators that I talk to, whether it's on Spaces on my YouTube or just in DMs. Um, my question for our Dana team would be: when did you know you would no longer be able to continue this project? It seems pretty abrupt, right? Did your team have any skin in the game at this point? Did they unload most of their tokens and then this was announced right before a holiday? Maybe it would fly under the radar, holiday weekend in the United States. Don't know. How about some more vesting information? When could they start selling? Right out of the gate, I would imagine. A little bit unethical. Other question I would have is how much was your team making to build a protocol that never got built? Were they on salary? Were they working on any other projects simultaneously? Was this their full-time job? Did the team actually lose any money or only the people who bought the sales pitch? This is important. How much community money was involved? Like how much liquidity did you attract with these LP incentives of your token that you knew was going to get, you know, nonstop selling pressure from your team. Public sales seem pretty big. Um, Other question is, did the team actually mean well? Did they run into some unforeseen circumstances? Were they ever capable of delivering? Was this too big of a project for this particular team? Um, that question should have been asked in the beginning, right? Did they have a track record of success before this? Before the community was buying this bogus token? What shouldn't they have brought a minimum viable product before having a public sale of their token? Right? And I'm not only talking about Ardana. This is for any project. We could ask these questions. It's totally fair because in the end, someone like me, I'm the user, right? I want to use good protocols and I want to see good protocols on the blockchains that I like using. I don't want to see unethical marketing and then a team that's not has no skin in the game that got paid up front and the results to them don't matter. Um, my question always is, why do you need a token? Why can't you use the ADA token? The ADA token is valuable. You need it to use one of the most important blockchains in all of Web3. Why can't you just run your protocol on the layer one token? Um, yeah, why? Why did people buy it? Right? Was the marketing that good? I'm glad this flew under my radar. Um, Here's the thing that makes this a rug pull, and this will happen again. So nothing against our Dana team. Maybe you gave it a good try. Maybe you did. I don't know. I'm not a developer, and it doesn't matter. I don't need to be because I'm ultimately I'm the end user, and there are going to be a lot more people like me than there are like the developers who started building this and never finished. This is the textbook definition of a slow rug. Start their marketing ahead of time. Promise to build this amazing shit. Um, They build a whole story around their project. Stablecoins, number one Cardano DeFi ecosystem. They had a graphic on their Twitter. It said the most trusted team or something like that. I'll show it to you. Here's the graphic. Ardana has a world class team. By whose standards? Are they still world class? They just abandoned the project after eating through like $10 million. Estimated $10 million. You just rugged a whole bunch of people. Is it the same team now that started the project? That I have no idea. But in general, these teams should be facing the community often enough that a lot of the questions that I put out there get asked. And they could be asked casually. You don't have to interrogate these teams. I mean, in the end, you have to assume that they're working, right? They're working. Um, but I will never buy a token from a team that has no track record. You know, I think I'm world class at my job too. Everyone thinks they're good at their job. Everyone's always surprised when they get fired. but I'm definitely not surprised when um, a team fails to build a product that's pretty ambitious like this one. The marketing was aggressive, super aggressive, super aggressive. And Cardano community, super naive, right? You can't just think because you like Cardano or any other blockchain that everything built on it is pristine and honest and going to be the best at everything. It's just not. In general, community needs to raise their standards. Um, I know I mentioned a couple of other projects in here. I don't hate it. I think it's par for the course. But as an end user, I got to protect my money, and I hope other people are doing the same thing. It will make the ecosystem safer and better for everyone. But that's it. That's all I got. This is a topic that I'm extremely passionate about. In case you haven't noticed, I think these teams need to operate a little more professionally, a little more transparently. Um, Stop dumping these garbage tokens onto the community and selling them, making a big deal out of it with your marketing. These tokens are valueless. They're valueless until a protocol that people want to use requires them. These tokens have no value. So that's my position. That's my position. 90% of the tokens out there, whether it be Cardano, Ethereum, or other, Binance, probably fall into that category. 90% would be my guess. Here's an account of somebody who apparently called this out months ago, right? Was scrutinizing the project and realized there were red flags. Good for this person. This was not on my radar. Um, I've spent a lot of time beating my head against the wall, looking at other projects, asking questions, and just getting completely shut down. Um, I've tweeted about them. No one cares. No one cares till the rug pull happens, and it's fine. It's fine. But yeah, maybe a good follow if you lost some money in this and you maybe want to follow someone who actually has a track record in doing something good for the community, and they have a stake pool, ranch stake pool. So if you want to support them, you could delegate some of your tokens over there. But yeah, you can't say that these rug pulls come out of nowhere. They definitely come out of somewhere. We just look at the pitch deck. The pitch deck is all over the place, all over the place. Just super aggressive marketing. Product, you know, will not get delivered at least by the current team. And they burn through a bunch of cash. So that's it. This is my rug pull video. Hopefully, people could follow my logic and can, even if you don't agree with all my opinions, you could at least see that, yeah, this was, you know, maybe not completely unexpected. Um, I hope the community starts raising their standards across the board, not just on Cardano. Whether you use Cardano or not, everybody can learn from this. And it's unfortunate, but we'll never eliminate all the rug pulls. And like I said earlier, if this was an NFT project, Twitter would be ablaze. People are so sensitive about NFT collections, but the DeFi protocols, it's time to start shipping at least, you know, minimum viable products. You know, it's been years for some of these protocols, and I would hate to see a bunch of others that are highly anticipated just kind of fizzle out and die like Ardana did.